what were the most difficult steps that you had to overcome in the creation? We're talking just about BG Scribe Writer here as one of the objectives of the content automation capability going into the autumn of this year. So what were the most difficult steps that you had to come, 3 most difficult steps?
So first one would definitely be the word count. We struggle with that a lot. Whenever we started doing these maybe 15 months ago, that was a main thing that we just couldn't seem to work it out. You were asking it, okay, write a blog of 900 words. It would stop at 300. It would stop at 600. We then worked out that was because of the tokenization. It could only give an output of so much. So that was restricting it from hitting that word count. So we kind of found whatever we did, we just couldn't get it to work. But then from experiencing that and trying to have workarounds, what we've done in BG Scribe is that we've got it to write in sections, which I mentioned earlier. It's not just good for being able to refine different parts if something's wrong. It's also good because it hits the word count. So I'm very easily able to get a blog out of between 12 and 1400 words.
And just to interrupt, sorry to say that, because there will be people saying, well, oh no, here you use paragraphs, you use time, you use all of these other types of stuff, or you refer to them as tokens, because of the mathematical way that it's done. So a word can be 3 tokens, or it can be 1 token, or whatever it may be. But generally, we apply the methodology of 2.3 tokens per word, more or less, in terms of productivity and efficiency parameters. So it's too variable to give that word of length to it. Paragraph, time to read, it doesn't obey. And I know there'll be people out there saying, well, you need to do this, but it varies so much that it's not a good metric. You can't really give it any instructions in terms of length. You've got to code it into the questions itself that you've been doing, system instructions.
The system instructions, I have so much in there about the word count, about having you always must adhere to the word count, always in capitals being a key point, because capitals, although it seems silly, it does listen to capitals more. Right. Which seems
This is old HTML. Put it into capitals, that's it shouting, isn't it?
So exactly. So it's got that you must always adhere to the word count. I think I have something in there about you go back and reread to make sure that you have adhered to the word count and you do have it right. There's just things like that in there. Because I found if you just put in, you always write to this many words, it's not going to listen. You need to really reinforce that point whenever it's there in the system instructions. So then when you're getting it to actually write the blog, there's no issues, is what I found.
That's very interesting, because then that would, if you're a good manager, you'll also be a good a systems generator, really, because when you think about management, it's you need to repeat something. I think it's 9 times before anybody actually remembers what it is that you're saying. So
definitely.
I go around at Christmas time and you see people like visibly getting more and more and more angry as I've repeated something for the 5th time. And then they say, look, you've told me that before. I says, well, that's great. Now you're starting to remember it. So a manager is a good systems engineer there, isn't it?
So once we'd worked out the word count, that was brilliant. We were very happy about that, because that was a big problem. We wanted good, bulky blogs, not just ones that were a few bullet points here and there and coming out 400 words. So then second difficulty would be one that I'm still working on, one that is proving even more difficult than the word count, is the vocab that it uses. Some of the vocabulary that ChatGPT uses is just terrible. It's awful. We are sick of seeing heartfelt, curated, gestures, keepsakes, dive in. Can't get away from it.
It's all over YouTube, isn't it? Oh, let's dive into this.
Now I do have in the system instructions specific words like that for it not to use. Curated has stopped coming up.
We've coded that out.
Great one. Get it out of there. Don't want to read that word ever again. That I don't know why it's just kind of stuck to that one that's not gone in.
Because we've just got so sick of it so early.
So in there, I know that I have curated, heartfelt, thoughtful, and gestures. I know I have those ones in there as the major ones. But for some reason, out of the 6, it's just the curated and the creation it has listened to. So still trying to find ways to, like the word count, to reinforce that point
Yeah.
of do not use these words because we don't want to read them. And it's just typical AI. Like everyone knows it's AI if you see those words in there. Another one stemming, I feel whenever you see an M dash, it's just give away that's AI.
Right.
I don't know if people have picked up on this yet, but I very, very much have. And I hate when I see them. It loves, instead of doing a comma or an and, it'll do the dash.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
The longer dash, I don't even know if it's on the keyboard. That's something I've never used in punctuation, but I am trying to get that out of it so much. It loves it. It loves it. And
there must be a reason for that M dash.
I'm still looking into it. I didn't even know it was called an M dash until the other day. When I looked it up, I was like, what is this that you're using and why are you using it?
Yeah.
But that's in the system instructions. I've put in that it's do not use, you do, and it's rules and behavior, you do not use M dashes. You think they're unprofessional.
Right.
That hasn't worked. So we're going to have to find another way for it to
must be coded in at such a very elementary level of it then, whereby that's how it sequences or organizes
It's
it.
very strange.
One of the questions that I have while I've got you here on it, whenever I'm asking questions within it, I don't add the question mark because I've been conditioned to believe that a question mark basically stops the query.
Okay.
Is that...
You mean when you're writing a prompt into it?
Yeah.
Not something I've noticed. I would always do punctuation in it.
Okay.
Not something I've noticed that's come up.
Okay.
Maybe, well, as we were saying before about our having different ChatGPTs and different results, it's maybe something in yours, not so much in mine.
I know it's probably just old habit or whatever that, from the old days of HTML with all those symbols went. So like asking something as a question would invariably end the query or whatever. And I always feared that then the bots would not like carry on and learn anything or read anything more from that. But that's obviously all coded out of it by now. A question mark doesn't stop it.
Yeah. Well, not that I've come across anyway. It's not that I've come across.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say these are my 3 kind of difficulties.
Very good.